Our tutorial for today is this gorgeous off-shoulder crochet top. I will be using these two yarns. This is cashmere yarn. It's extremely thin, and I'll be working together with this Luna yarn. It's a DK size, it's thicker, so I'll be blending both of them. So buy many balls and the 4.5 millimeters hook. Make a loop and then chain 81. 81 is equivalent to the 55 centimeters of your width. My chain is ready, and then chain 1. You're going to skip the first loop, go into the second, and work a single crochet, and then go into the next loop, work a single crochet, and then work a single crochet along the entire chain. I have one loop left, like that. And then our next row is going to be different. Chain 1, 2 as your first double crochet, turn your work, wrap your yarn. You're going to skip this very first loop into the next, like that, and then chain 1, skip that loop into the next, and now work a double crochet with a chain 1 space, skipping one loop into the next with a double crochet. I'm getting done with my row 2. Chain 1, skip one into the next with a double crochet, chain 1. This is our last one. Go in the very first loop and put a double crochet, excuse me. This is our second row. It's a simple stitch, chain 2, and then chain 1 as your chain 1 space, turn your work, and now we are going to work front post stitch, like that. Put a double crochet, chain 1, make a front post stitch on the double crochet, chain 1, make a front post stitch on a double crochet. I am at the end of my row 3. Chain 1, go in the very first loop and put a double crochet. So this is how it looks, and that's going to be the outside of my crochet piece. Chain 1, turn your work. You're going to again work a row of single crochet. Start from the very first loop with a single crochet, and then work a single crochet along the entire row. This is basically the stitch we are going to use. So I'm going to show you one more round, and then I'll skip Again, I have reached the end of the row. So this is the front of my piece where you see the rib, and this is the back. So I'm going to show you something else. You're going to chain 2. Look at how beautiful that is. 1, 2, turn your work, and then you're going to chain 1 as a chain 1 space, and then skip 1 loop into the next on top of the lower double crochet and work a double crochet, and then chain 1, skip 1 loop into the next, work a double crochet along the entire row. I am at the end of the row, going to the very last loop and put a double crochet. And now you're going to chain 1, 2, 3 as your chain 1 space, turn your work. So this is the outside of my piece where the rib is visible, and now to keep the rib visible we are going to use now a back post stitch instead of a front post, because we want the ribbing to be visible from the same side. So now we are using a back post stitch. In the beginning we used a front post stitch. So work a back post stitch, you see, so the ribbing is visible from one side. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's like a beautiful pattern. You can see it. I just want you to be able to see it. You see? And then this side is flat, which is going to be the inside of my crochet top. So I am going to continue working this off camera. I'll meet you when I have 2 pieces. That's the front and the back of my piece. So meet you with 2 pieces. My 2 pieces are ready. I'm just wanting to show you how it is now. I already have one side already stitched together, as you saw in the small clip. So I'm going to show you. This is the part. I already have an arm separation this side. I'm going to show you on the other side. So you can see I used a single crochet stitch to do the separation. So we are going to knot here to make sure that it's joined together. You can always join your pieces using a tapestry needle or a single crochet or a slip stitch. It all works just fine. So I'm going to count 18 of these ribbings, the double crochet. I'm going to separate my arm using 18 of them. You can use 18 to roughly 20. And now I have my hook as a stitch marker put together. So pull through, and we are now going to attach the rest of the piece, which I am going to use a single crochet this time round. Wait a minute. And go into the back loop, pull through all. That's a single crochet. Go into the front and go into the back, pull through, pull as a stitch. That is a slip stitch. I'm trying to show you if you're using any of them. You can decide, they both work. So me, I'm just going to continue with a single crochet, but you can use a slip stitch as well or a tapestry needle. I am done with both sides, and now we are going to work on the arms or sleeves. make a loop, and please work from the inside of your crochet piece. I am working from the inside of my crochet piece to make sure that the ribbing is outside, the messy part of your piece is inside. So chain 3 and then skip 1 loop into the next and work a double crochet, then chain 1. You can match along with the double crochet on the piece that you already attached. So I'm not going to explain much. I've showed you this severally in my other videos and you can vividly see it. I have fastened my video and now I have 20 rows of the mesh using the double crochet for the sleeves made. You can do more for yourself because you have to make sure you follow your own measurements. And now we are going to attach this to our arms. What I've showed you is something I've already done off camera. So you are going to chain 15 plus 1, that's 16. And then plus 1. Skip the first loop into the second, work a single crochet. If you want, you can do this band or sleeve band, I don't know how to call it. You can work on it off and then attach it with a tapestry needle, but I think I prefer to work while attaching it at the same time. So I am reaching my sleeve. You are going to go on top of the next double crochet, enter in the loop on top like that and slip stitch, and then you are going to slip stitch there and then going to the next double crochet like that. Turn your work. That will help reduce the size. And then start from the very first loop with a single crochet and then work a single crochet until the end of the row. And then chain 1 after row 2, turn your work. Start from the very first loop with a single crochet and again work single crochet row towards the sleeve. Again, when you've reached the sleeve, remember to again skip that, go on top of the next double crochet, pull through, slip stitch, and then go into the next double crochet and then turn your work. That helps to reduce the size. We are doing a decrease. So I am literally done. And slip stitch, and now we are going to attach these together using a slip stitch to close off our wristband. And there we are done. I hope you have them ready for both sides. I have both sides done. So now we are going on the lower end, where we're not going to do anything special, just to keep this top as simple as possible. So make a loop, and then come on the lower end, waist end. We are going to just work a double crochet entirely, so you can just watch as I do it. And there it is. I worked 2 double crochet in each row of double crochet, just in case I forgot to mention. And then cut off the yarn. Still, I'm working from the inside, the messy part of my top. This is the one going to be the outside of my top. And now I'm going to fix the shoulder. I'm going to do the same. Make a loop. But instead of a double crochet, this time I'm going to use a half double crochet. Same thing, work 2 half double crochets. 2 half double crochets in each double crochet, and then 1 half double crochet in a row of single crochet that we did. I'm going to show you a bit of it. Sorry. And then 1 in the row of single crochets, and then 2 half double crochets in the double crochet. And this is done as well. Go on top on the very first loop and slip stitch. Voila. Chain 1, 2, and now you're going to do a front post, back post using half double crochet for your row 2, which I have showed you several times. If you're new to this channel, you can comment below if you need me to explain deeper any part that you think you didn't understand. You can comment below and then I'll help you. Like that. We are done. You can see, if you want, you can leave it like this, but I'm going to reduce a little bit on the shoulders. Otherwise, where I've put the pegs is where I'm going to reduce. This is how it looks. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for following up. Bye bye.